Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome to Transplant Talk with Shonda. It is Thankful Thursday, and we are definitely grateful and thankful to be here today. So, hello to everyone that is watching. Hello, hello, hello. Again, we are live. It is July 15th. And I'm so excited and happy that you all are here. So you all come on in, everybody that's watching in Facebook land, everyone that's watching on YouTube. Y'all just come on in, show us some love, show us where you are from. Because I'm always trying to be nosy and see where everybody is from, right? So that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're doing today. Hello, Larry. How are you? How's your beautiful wife? Right. So we already know where Mr. Sawyer is coming from. We know he's from that Big Apple. And that's where he's from. Thank you for watching, Mr. Sawyer. I'm glad you got it today. I'm glad you caught it today. And everybody else that's watching. I see my mother is watching. Hello, Mom. Hello, Andrew. How y'all doing? All right. So we're here, honey. FAMU. You know what? We messed up. We did not put on our FAMU colors. It's all about the orange and the green. I wish I had time because I'll go change. But when you have a fellow marching 100, also from Atlanta, Georgia, when you have one of your fellow marching 100 brothers to come on, I am totally, totally grateful. Hey, Christopher. Hey, Mike. How you doing, Mr. Jones? All right. So again, this is my FAMU brother. His name, everybody call him Rico, Mr. Johnson. FAMU all day, FAMU today, forever. We are never turning back. Hey, Miss T.Y. Walker, how you doing? So we are here today with a wonderful episode. But let me make sure I back up. Anyone that is watching that is not a organ donor, please make sure that you um, go to my website. Hello. Just go to save1000lives.squarespace.com. Shout out to my daughter Chanel for creating my website. If y'all need to go ahead and look her up, Chanel T. Jones. All right, she created my website. And then you can also visit us on YouTube, Transplant Talk with Shonda. We are trying to raise those subscribers. So please click and subscribe and just know that we're on. I do want to ask this question. Hello, how many viewers are actual organ donors? So if y'all didn't know, today is actual National Emoji Day. So if you are a organ donor, please give me some hearts in the chat. Give me something. Tell me that you were organ donor. I greatly appreciate it. Again, Michael, yes, Southwest DeKalb too. Okay, all right. And then Mr. Said Lover, how you doing, sir? Thank you all for watching. Okay, so before we bring him on, hey Jared, please make sure, don't be stingy. Okay, I think I probably stole that from Jared. Don't be stingy. Y'all go ahead and share. I want you to text, tag somebody about this broadcast. Okay, text, tell, and tag. That I know I took from my Bishop Rudolph McKissick and probably his team. So please make sure that you all text, tell, tag somebody about this. All right, so I'm super excited about this. We definitely marched in a band together at FAMU in the 90s. We just gonna leave it right there because y'all be in my business. I can't have y'all be in my business, okay? But yeah, it was the early 90s. So we know that FAMU is the best, sitting on the highest hills in Tallahassee, Florida. So to be a part of Florida Agricultural Mechanical University alumni, we are greatly we're thankful and we are appreciative. Mr. Glover, we're not gonna go into it, okay? We're not going to get into it with that other school, okay? It's a HBCU. I'm cool with it, but we're not going to go there today. Thank you, sir. All right, so yes, Christopher, TTT. Hi, Mama. Again, hey, Mama. So listen, I need y'all to get on YouTube, all right, so we can get those subscribers up. So without further ado, I want to bring up Mr. Rico Johnson, who lives right here in Jacksonville, Florida, okay? I had the wonderful opportunity to teach his beloved daughter, Miss Beautiful Justice. Let me say, as a teacher, this young lady has a very good head on her shoulders. And it was a pleasure and a joy to teach her. She's one of my babies, and she graduates this year. So I'm hurt because they always are my babies. But he is in need of a kidney transplant. So this is not a typical story where they tell you this is what happened. No, we're going to take this journey with him and where he is. And then once he receives his kidney, then guess what he's coming back to tell me all the information and how God has really tremendously blessed his life. But let me give a shout out to my dad, Major Rollins, my mama, Gwen Rollins, my grandmother, Mabel Johnson, and I'm not sure if my grandma Altamise is watching, but hey, grandma, how y'all doing? Oh, Mother dear, I'm sorry. All right, so need to make you do, Terry. Come on, we do need that. I do. I do need that. Well, let me bring on Mr. Johnson right now so he can tell you all his story. It is a wonderful story. Again, TTT, text, tell, tag somebody, and share. All right, so let me bring on Mr. Johnson. I told him that, like, please don't make me cry, but I got some tissue here just in case. All right, here we go. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. Listen, are you enjoying this weather here in Jacksonville?
I am enjoying this weather in Jacksonville, and I got on my FAMU hat.
All day.
This is golf. This is our FAMU golf.
Let me go find something orange and put on. I gotta represent. I gotta represent the orange and the green. But I am happy that you said yes. I honestly don't think I gave you any other choice. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
And do it. Come on and do it. Hi, Kim. How you doing? Kim, please share this in the Marshall 100, in the Marshall 100 room, please. If you would. All right. So thank you again, my brother, for
definitely.
this opportunity.
You tried to get me here before, and I kind of was like, wasn't sure if I would.
I wasn't having it.
Yeah,
I just wasn't having it this time. I was like, you ready? And like we say, let's go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So for the people that don't know you, besides you are a part of one of the best bands in the land, which is Florida Agricultural Mechanical University, hands down. So we don't care nothing about the swag, all right? Stop talking noise about us. We don't know y'all.
I at least got to give a shout out to the second best band in the land, which is Southwest DeKalb Panthers.
Okay. You can do that in Atlanta because, I'm from Miami Central, so we're going to hold it down. We're going to hold it down with that too, right? So shout out to them. Hopefully they're watching.
Yeah.
That's one of their alums. So for everybody that don't know you, tell us a little bit about who you are. Who is Rico Johnson?
I kind of go down the list. I'm a husband, father, business owner, entrepreneur. Love God. I guess that's just started with that, but that's part of it. But
right,
I guess when you hear my story, you can't deny where that fits in. I'm just a down to earth guy. Just surviving, and not just surviving, thriving through this process. Kidney. I have 4 kids now. One is a sophomore at FAMU, or going into the fall, will be a sophomore at FAMU. It's my oldest son, and I have a daughter who's about to graduate high school this year. Like you already mentioned, you taught her. Yeah. And I thought that was interesting, us coming from FAMU, and you end up teaching my daughter. And so it's amazing how life is connected. I have a 13-year-old who is about to head to 8th grade, and amazingly, I have a 1-year-old who just turned 1 in May. So for some reason, I decided to start over and re-up on the kid thing, which is, part of who I am. So here we are. So
you're a rapper. That's right. Not me, though. Not me.
I think all the other rappers out there are talking about not me either.
Not me.
Now that I got a good dose of it and I've been in it for a year, I'm like, I should have rethought that thing. So yeah, but it's a blessing. Yes, he is a blessing.
A
Yeah, he
blessing.
is a
A
blessing.
blessing.
So it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's who he is, everybody. And you know, I to know, a little bit of background, about him and his story and his journey. Again, when we were, messaging each other, he said, "Are you ready to hear how I'm thriving and surviving?" So for most, and I had to use it when I put the promo out. I was like, "Oh yes,"
Yeah.
the teacher. It had clicked for me to say, "All right, let's do this. Let me make sure that people know what this brother is doing," because he didn't say, I'm failing or I'm going to give up. He says, "I'm thriving and striving and surviving," which is always interesting because it really is so easy to give up.
Yeah.
It
It
really,
is.
really is. Uh, just
I
throw
was
up your
there.
hands.
I mean, I was there. So
Yeah, just
yeah.
to throw up your hands and say, I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to do this. It's always a struggle. Every struggle is real. Every struggle is real. So let's talk about what happened kind of in the beginning. When did you find out that you were in need of a kidney transplant?
I found out 2015. I was in a downward spiral at that time in my life. I had just finalized divorce from my first wife and my oldest two kids, May 31st, 2015. And within less than 30 days, in that 30-day period, I thought it was just the issues of the divorce, court, all these things. I used to have these headaches every day while I worked. And it got to a point so bad and to a point where I had to take a nap in the middle of the day just to get them to stop hurting.
Wow.
And then I had a conversation with a friend of mine on the phone. She was a nurse, or she is a nurse at the time. And she was telling me, "You need to go get your blood pressure checked." And I was like, I mean, it's just, I just, whatever, maybe a little too much salt. Got this little diet I'm doing and blah, 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 whatever. I'm trying to get off that. She said, "No, go get your blood pressure checked." So I went and got my blood pressure checked. Went to Walgreens. And the man at Walgreens was like, "Your blood pressure is crazy, man. You might need to go to the hospital." My blood pressure was like 220 something over 100 and something at the time. Yes, it's stroke levels. And I was like, I never was one to check my blood pressure, thought I was in decent health. I knew I had some little issues, diabetic issues prior to that, but nothing to this standard. And the guy was like, "Let me check it again." And he was like, "Yeah, you need to go to the hospital." So I called my friend because she was like, "Let me know what they say. Tell me what the blood pressure is." And I told her what the blood pressure was, and she was like, "I'm not getting off this phone until you go to the hospital." And I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna just go ahead and go back to work and all that." And she was like, Trust me, if you hang up on me, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna blow your phone up until you go to the hospital." Because she's a nurse, and I'm a average layman type guy, and you tell me my blood pressure 200 something, I'm like, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in the medical field. That's high. The guy said it's high, but I feel fine. I've been feeling like this for months. I take a nap and I'll be okay.
Pause. Pause.
Yeah.
Pause. Pause. This is what women always fuss about. How men will neglect their health.
Well, a
And
lot of
I
it's out
heard
of
you say,
ignorance.
"I got to go to work. I got to do this. Work, work, work." Oh my God. I need all men to stop that in 2021. Make sure you go and get your checkups, guys. Make sure. But I'm going to let you finish the story.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
A lot of that's out of ignorance for most men. It's like we don't know the signs and we don't know what to look for. And then when it does happen, we feel like, "Oh, it's gonna be all right. I'm invincible. I'm gonna be okay." And so, lo and behold, she got off. She would not get off the phone. She told me I need to go to the hospital. I went to the emergency room because she told me how bad it was and what could happen to me, and I could be driving and pass out. And I mean, she really scared me more than anything.
Well, good. Shout out to her.
I was like, it can't be that bad. I was feeling the same way last week, and the only difference is I went to Walgreens and let this man put this thing on my arm. So
Right.
Um, so I went to the hospital, and they would not let me leave. They checked me out, told me I could not go, did a biopsy on me the second day I was in the hospital, wouldn't let me go to the hospital. I was mad, told her, you have me stuck in the hospital now, this, that. Did a biopsy on me, and they told me, yep, you have kidney failure due to high blood pressure and diabetes. And so that was 30 days after divorce. And I was going through all kind of mental struggle issue and just depression, downward spiral, blah, blah, blah. And like I mentioned, this was a time in 2015 where the police had killed Freddie Gray, and it was on a national news media. And this wasn't the first Black man that got killed by the police. But for me, it was, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to, this place, this America, this country, this life I have lived. I'm good, and I was ready to check out. I was ready to let it take its course, and just say, okay, I'm gonna go meet my maker. And I was really in that mental space, and because I was in that mental space, it created a situation where I needed the support of others, and that's when I found out back in 2015. And when I found out again, like I said, it was a huge deal for me, and amazingly, I won't necessarily even say amazingly, but it was God looking out for me. Where when I found out, as soon as I found out that Friday, I had who is my current wife now.
Shout out to Nikki.
Nikki, yes,
Yeah.
Nikki, Nicole. She, we were been off and on dating. We have a son, my 13-year-old now, together. And she gave me, the support that she could give me, but it was kind of like, I don't know what to say. I'm here for you, and I care about you, but whatever you need, we here. We're gonna make it through. And she said all the right words that people say and supposed to say, and all the right comments. But then just after that, it came to my mind, I want to say by the Holy Spirit, it came up, a young lady named Makisha Adams, who went to Southwest DeKalb, who was in the band with me.
Okay.
And, I encourage everybody to get into your Facebook group, and encourage others who have had transplants or kidney transplants to join your Facebook group, because I found out about her kidney transplant because I was on Facebook in one of the groups in the Southwest DeKalb band group that we were in. And it clicked, give her a call, just give her a call. And I didn't have her phone number, but I reached out to her through Facebook. And man, that was a Friday night. And man, I call her my angel to this day, because she spoke so much life and hope into me, and gave me just the reassurance that you can do this, that it's not a death sentence. It's not a end all be all. It's over. And and I got off the phone with her, and I was like, okay, maybe I can. I saw my kids. I had others around me that was kind of like, you can't just let this happen. Man, by Sunday, I talked to a pastor. After I talked to her, again, it popped up in my mind, you need to call this guy, because remember, you went to church with him and he talked about having a kidney transplant. And I was like, you know what? Let me call him. And both of them, between Friday and Sunday, when I called them, they were immediately available. Neither one of them was like, I got to call you back, or I get back to you, or hey, what's going on? Yeah, all right, whatever. They both spoke so much life into me.
Wow.
And from that Friday of wanting to give up, didn't care whether or not I lived, didn't care about family, none of that stuff. It was like, all right, let's just wrap this up. I could probably be out of here in about a couple of weeks. Let this thing take its course. And from that Friday to that Sunday, man, I was like, I got so much hope now.
Wow.
Went to church, praise God for where I was. Still was kind of mad, but I had hope. And after that, it's been uphill. There have been some peaks and valleys, but it's been uphill since then. I mean, I've had, you know, I don't know if you want me to keep going on, but I could just
Well,
keep
it's
sharing about this whole process.
listen. I think what will happen is you're then able to you probably helping somebody right now. You
Right.
know, to
Yeah.
know that because we know, and again, this is why I have the mental health segment of Transplant Talk, because what you're saying right now is mentally you had already checked out.
Yeah. And that's something that you talk about. I'm open about that. I'm even so open about that. I tell my kids that I believe, my personal belief, and nobody get mad at me for saying this, that every person on this earth goes through mental health issues. Every person. That was one for me, where you get to a place where your mind is telling you one thing and your spirit, or you may not agree with that, but at the time you're like, okay, that's cool. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody has a bout, not maybe not necessarily with death, a mental health issue, but some form of, my mind is not in the best condition it needs to be in right now.
Right.
And that's just like the association with mental health, just same way if we're an athlete
Right.
and we're a runner and we sprain our ankle, or our
Right.
body and our ankle is not in the best condition at that time to do the thing that we need to do.
Right.
And my mind wasn't in the best condition to live life at that time.
Right.
And I think, we all have different areas where we have mental health issues, and it should not be a stigma. But part of what I was sharing with my kids is that that's where I was at the time, and not to take it lightly, but that's just where I was. And I'm so glad that the people I reached out to were able to give me that hope. The people I was next to, able to speak that encouraging word, word in due season that I needed. And I teach them to be mindful of that when especially when somebody's going through something, and sometimes just a matter of being a support or being a supporting ear.
Right.
And so the mental health component about the transplant or the failing of health is a major deal, is a major component
Right.
of sometimes why people don't make it through.
Right. So I stay on the mental health just for a little while, because here's somebody that you just said, hey, I have a 1-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a 1-year-old. So somebody might be feeling right now, man, all hope is lost. They have I love how it happens that now I can associate it with somebody else, a man. Now, because of your health, most men feel like I'm not worthy, I'm shamed, the sexual problems that might occur because of the medications that you are taking.
Yeah.
It's so many facets that are attached to it. So I'm not talking like schizophrenia or things like that. I'm just talking about, like for me, going to the pool, going to the beach. There's a beach day coming real soon. Those are the places that I know I need to go to keep me sane.
Right.
It's not for anybody else. It's for me. And if more people are really honest with themselves, they will admit that we all have some kind of struggle. And I'm telling you, from everything that I went through, I fight just to make sure that I gotta stay sane. I fight, I pray, I cry, whatever it is I gotta do. So I can only imagine being told that, hey, you need a life-saving transplant. And now I think for most women would say, I got these kids. I got to live for these kids. I got to take care of my kids. You can't take me, but.
Well, part of my problem, well, not necessarily a problem, what I found was I was a machismo dude.
Machismo.
It was, I'm from, from not the most desirable area of Atlanta. I went to a great school, but I grew up, not the best of lives. And, and I'm not shaming any of what I, had, but I grew up not the best of situations.
Okay.
And then to become a successful person in my own right, my business, things I did in real estate. When this happened to me, it hit my ego more than anything. and it hit my pride.
Ooh.
Um, after having failed in this divorce I went through, and then now this, man, I was like, oh my goodness, am I who I think I am? Am I who I said I was? Am I who others think I am, or who others think I'm supposed to be?
Right. Who do
And
you say that I am?
yes, and
Right.
that's what I had to learn. This move to Jacksonville and this kind of a wilderness experience here in Jacksonville was like proving, well, who does Rico say he is? You
That's
say
it.
you believe this, you say you are this, you say you are that. And I really went on a journey of, if you say you that, produce that again in your life. Reproduce this, or was it something that somebody gave you, or was it something somebody helped you do? Or can you and God manifest what you say you are? And that's where I've been on this journey. And it's been, like I said, peaks and valleys, but the peaks have gotten so high that the valleys don't seem like they're valleys anymore. They just seem like they are, to the point where it's part of the process now. And a lot of that has to do with my mental perspective.
That
But
part.
God is good. And so, like you said, I had all those struggles with my libido and sexual drive, and the medicines they got you on, the beta blockers, and they take your sex drive down, and then you a man and you identify yourself with, can I perform, and can I love a woman, and can she be happy with me? And then you go through that, or am I worthy to even have a good relationship? And then you try to date, and then you try to go through these mental exercises to say, okay, I am this, I am that, but then your body is failing, and you're in the hospital. For me, I was in the hospital at least once a month for like a whole year.
Ooh.
Once
Me
a month.
too.
And so it was like every time I go to the hospital, I get better. Go to the hospital, get better. Go back to the hospital, and it was just this up and down, up and down. And now, mind you, I still had hope. I still had kids. I had got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. My kids need to learn stuff I hadn't taught them yet. I still got things I want to do. I still got things I want to accomplish. So going back, what I was saying about the hope, man, that hope, they spoke so much life into me. Like I said, after that Sunday, and then I started attending church regularly. And like you said, I started finding areas of where it would keep me in that space of high hope and high expectation for the future. And I realized that's where I needed to be. And I started playing the piano more. Being a music major, I had to learn the piano, but I never was any good at it. And then I started getting good at it and started playing. And that was my stress reliever. And that was, anytime I was mad or upset, I'd go get on the piano. And I had to find something to keep me in a space where my mind was, on things being better, and the hope and what was to come.
Wow.
And that was, life altering. So anybody out there that's listening to this, and you may be in a space where or somebody listen to it, they may not have that hope yet. You got to find somewhere in some way to have something to look forward to, and then build on that one day at a time, step by step. And so that's what got me to a point where I can say, even though I am in need of a transplant, I go to dialysis 3 times a week. And that's even a story within itself. But 3 times a week, I still have hope, man. I still have a business I run. I still have people I work with, clients. I still looking to plan for the future. Let me get this charger on the phone so it doesn't die right quick. Sorry.
Yeah, please don't die right.
Yeah.
Please don't die.
So I have a business I run. Family I'm trying to still grow.
Right.
I have loved ones I care about now, and still want to be here for and with. And then again, even though my youngest son was a oops baby, I'm so glad that he's here now. It was kind of like, it's amazing how much more hope and how much more it's changed my perspective.
Right. Wow.
And it's not just the baby. It's Justice called me one day, and she was crying. She was upset about something, and I was asking her what's wrong, and she wouldn't kind of tell me, but she wanted to talk to me. And she was concerned that I had got pneumonia from sinuses, allergies, draining, and all stuff. And I got pneumonia, and I was walking around here coughing and hacking. This was during, COVID season. and I knew I didn't have COVID because I went and got tested, but they said, no, you don't have COVID. But, so I had this walking pneumonia. And so in her mind, everything she learned in school about pneumonia was everybody that gets it dies.
Oh.
So here it is now. She's coming to the reality that her daddy may not be here. I've talked to them and I've, try to prepare them and help them understand. But for whatever reason, it hit her one night and she was going through her emotional up and down. And I tried to explain to her, baby, I'm not trying to go anywhere. That I want to see you go to college. I want to see you graduate.
Yeah.
Graduate first, go to college,
right?
Get married, and have kids.
Right.
And in that order. And that's
right. Right. Right.
So
because I need to see those senior pictures. So
right. And so it reminded me, which was amazing, is like, oh, your daughter is expecting you to be here. She's expressed it. She's kind of scared, but it reminded me, make sure you take your medicine. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because somebody looking for you to make that what you just said. Somebody looking for you to be there. Right. And it was just a subtle reminder. Oh, some days you skip taking your blood pressure medicine. Some days you don't do it when you're supposed to. Some days you eat a little more when you ain't supposed to. And it just reminded me, do what you're supposed to do, because somebody is expecting, even though you're going through this, they don't care nothing about that.
Right. And but let me ask you about this. So let's talk about health. Let's talk about your health regimen. Like, what are some of the things you're doing? How many medications are you taking? Because I know, with you doing dialysis, are you on a lot of medications? Like, how many pills are you taking a day?
I take 3 blood pressure medicines.
3.
Well, let me back up. All this started after I got out of the marching band. I still ate like I was in the marching band. And I got up to 295 pounds, almost 300. And I'm 6 feet tall. So 300, I was a little plump joker. I was on the heavy D, big boy, fat boy side. So
big and tall side. Okay.
Yes. Big and tall. I was shopping at. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So, thank God now I'm down to like 240. So I lost a lot of 50, 60 pounds, a lot of weight, and that helped.
Right.
Because before I used to be on insulin and diabetes medicine, losing all that weight, and with my eating and exercise, I keep my A1C levels down to like 7. We're working on getting them down to 6. So I really don't have to take any diabetes medicine.
Oh, good.
So that was a change, and it all came from eating. What I realized is diabetes comes from what you put in your mouth. And the only thing that's going to really change that is for what you don't put in or what the new stuff you put in.
Right.
So the medicine is just a Band-Aid.
Okay.
You had to change my lifestyle, my eating, all that. So in doing all that, I finally got to the point where this kidney thing kicked in from a lot of years of drinking alcohol, not taking care of my health, high blood pressure, stuff like that. And the diabetes and the high blood pressure made it where now I have to take 3 blood pressure medicines.
Okay.
I don't have to take any heart medicine. My heart's still in great shape. Okay. And I have to take when I go to dialysis, I have to take 3 times a week. So 3 calcium type pills to help make sure I got the right balance, that things that your kidneys produce that they're no longer producing now, they have to give it to you in a pill form. Okay. To help try to regulate your body. So with that, when I originally started this process, I was taking like 5 or 6 different pills every day just for blood pressure. And then you have to take these pills are called what they call binders. Mm-hmm. Those are 2 like big fat horse pills, seem like. And then for a long time, I didn't take them because they were too big to swallow and this and that. And then the kidney doctor, the nephrologist, told me, like, look, let me show you what happens to people that don't take these pills. And then he was like, they create another problem, that their arteries and internal organs start to calcify, and they just basically stop working.
Oh wow!
And so it helps you bind the phosphorus in the food that you eat. So all of this goes back to food and what we eat and how we eat.
Mm-hmm.
The binders help you with the processed food or phosphorus that are found in foods other than fresh fruits and vegetables. Um, and it takes all those and bind them and, obviously go out your body. But if
Mm-hmm.
you don't have those, that's another 2 pills I have to take or had to take every time you eat. Every
Okay.
time you put something in your mouth, eat, you got to take these binders to process the food because your kidneys now don't process what they should be processing.
Okay.
So that dialysis, the pills, it's a regimen. And then
Okay.
and if you don't stay on top of it, your health deteriorates.
Right.
Well,
So all the men that's listening right now, all the men that's listening, please, and somebody else said it in the, in the comments of, how men don't necessarily, I gotta find it. So, well, somebody else, they said something pertaining to, I think it was him, you know, men have a problem going to the doctor. What advice would you give them if they're kind of struggling with, but I need men to know that one, you are, well, we'll see what happened. We'll see what happened. But I want to, hopefully he'll come right back. But I just want to kind of reiterate this to, to the fathers, to the husbands, you know, we really need you all to take care of yourselves. He came right back. We really need you all to take care of yourselves because you are wanted and you're needed. And hopefully someone is telling you, hey, you are appreciated. So we need you. We need you to be here. We need you to take your medicine. Um, Check your blood pressure, go get, the colon checked. There are things that, women, I know in our 40s, we have to get colon checks and mammograms and all that. And trust me, I'm doing all of that this month so that but when I get ready to go to work, I don't have to take off in order to do those things. So we need you all to do that. And ladies, we need you all to do that too. I know we fuss at the men about having getting their colonoscopy done, but ladies, we have to do it too. I know it sounds a little strange, a little crazy, but I remember having to get a mammogram, and then I got a letter back saying, "Hey, we need you to come back." And I was so fretful. I was so scared because it was during COVID, and I had to go by myself, and I could not believe that, and I didn't tell anybody because I was like, I'm not gonna tell anybody because I didn't want to, hurt anybody. But once everything came back fine, I felt like they scared the life out of me. But that was something that I kind of needed to do. I think he's back. I think he's back. He's back. You're back.
sorry about
All
that.
right.
Yeah, no, I made it back. Yeah, and that is one thing that I think is a mission for me now. Is I found this scripture in the Bible that says that when you've gone through the struggles or tribulation, I'm paraphrasing. I'm not a Bible scholar and quote verbatim,
Okay.
but what I found was it says that once you've gone through the trial and the struggle and you've been strengthened, go strengthen your brothers. And that's where it's am I my brother's keeper? It's like, and I am. And that's one of the things where I realized that all my life I've gone through things and been kind of on the advanced curve of my peer group. The things that I've gone through, they were still going through. Things I've been through, they were just getting to. And so this is one of those things where in my life I'm seeing I'm going through this a lot earlier than some of my peer group or people that know me. And I'm hopefully able to use this to be in a position to strengthen them or help them avoid this whole entire process.
Absolutely. Each
And
one
so,
teach one, right?
right.
Each one teach
That whole, exactly. So all that I've been through, that's why I say that it's such a blessing now to be on this side of it, that I'm thriving so to the place where it's kind of like it's this, like the story of Joseph, man, that all he been through, got sold in slavery, this, that, did wrong, this, that. And then you get to a place where you are in a position now that the people you are helping need your help and assistance, and they don't realize that they do, or he was such in a position, I guess, where now he's able to help others that did him wrong.
Right.
And I'm not saying anybody did me wrong, but I'm just saying that I'm just in a position where now I'm able to everything that I went through to be a blessing to somebody else and be able to share and hopefully uplift and be a word of encouragement for someone
Right.
else.
Right. And that, for me, that's what I feel like. That's my calling. That's
Yeah.
my purpose.
Yeah.
For everything that have experienced and will experience again. I just wasn't expecting to experience it so early in life. So I do believe that my father has taught us that. He always preaches that in his message, that God has a purpose and a plan for your life.
Yes.
Now, I can't tell you that while he was preaching this, when I was a teenager, that I saw this at 48. Like, I didn't, I didn't see that at all. Like, what do you mean? Like, where did this come from? Because I was content with, I'm a teacher. That's it. That's what. But now I'm a teacher outside of the classroom. So, people have to be vigilant and use that ear to listen, because God could be trying to tell you something and you might hear it in a song. You might hear it in a movie. Somebody might say something and say, what? Especially my pastor. He forever getting me. He's always on Larimore Lane when he gives his messages. So you have to be intentional with your listening. But I want to hold your Thursday evening up so much. But I do have, this. I want to make sure now. Which hospital are you registered with?
I'm registered here in Jacksonville with Mayo Clinic, and and I'm just getting to I'm just getting to the. I mean that again, there's so much God in all of this story. Again, I'm from Atlanta, and I would not have moved here to Jacksonville if I were not trying to fix my previous marriage. My wife, ex-wife, had moved here or wanted to move here, and I ended up in here, Jacksonville. And again, that relationship failed, like I said. But here I am, ended up in the best city that has the best transplant hospital in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, and it's like, okay, so, did I plan that? No. Did I ask for that? No. But here it is. I feel like, again, one of those things where God's looking out for me and saying, I got you.
Divine
I got
intervention.
you. Yeah, divine intervention. And
I'm not from here either. So
it's been a journey. It's been a journey.
So how do you do that? So what do you say to someone? Well, let me ask you this. What would it mean for you to get a kidney transplant? What would that mean for you?
Oh, I'm talking about if I know, even with the understanding of the transplant process and what people have explained to me and what I've heard, that even in that, it may not be what I think is going to be in terms of, oh yeah, I get a kidney and everything works out and everything, your life is all beautiful. There's a process and a period that your body may go through rejection and all these different things. But the hope of not having to go to dialysis 3 times a week and be on that machine for 4 to 6 hours sometimes. Or when I started first, I was on 6 hours, but now I'm down to 3 hours, 3.5 hours. To not have to do that 3 times a week, to not have to feel like I'm tired and can't go on a trip because I got to get to the dialysis machine. I can't go this far, too far away from home because I got to be on the machine here, there, or, and the quality of life to be able to say, okay, I can function and do and be somewhat normal. Having to take obviously anti-rejection medicine every day. But that's, from what I'm understanding, a couple pills a day versus 5 or 6 I'm taking now. So, that part is a lot of it is just, the hope of I may have a longer life. It can be depressing going to these dialysis facilities and everybody around you is of an older age or depleting health. And you can see that over time, and you see the same people regularly and you see them not doing so well. And then so-and-so didn't show up this week and so-and-so didn't show up today. And then you ask about them and they're like, oh yeah, they're not going to show up no more. And you see that constantly. And that's what I call the valley of the shadow of death, because it's all around you and you see it and you have to go through it every day. And that's why I was like, and that's why I was saying that my mental perspective is you got to be on point. You got to have something that keeps you above that.
Water.
Yeah, that you got to
You
keep
got
having.
to.
You have
I
to say,
promise you, if you don't have it, you better get it.
yes, if you don't, you
Because
better get it because it will wear on you, and it's so subtle. That's what I'm saying. You got to go to dialysis every day, and you got to be there, and it's so subtle because you used to seeing the same people, and then when so and so don't show up, you like, dang, that might be me.
right.
Or
So
when you
then
see
you get
them, and then when
what's
you
it
see
called?
them,
Survivor's remorse.
yeah. Well, that's that. Yeah, for some people, yes, that's what that plays in, and I guess that's the terminology. I don't know. I've never had that, but I just know it's something I'm fighting against that you don't
Mm-hmm.
see. It's a spiritual thing, obviously, but that's why I
Mm-hmm.
was saying that it's so subtle that getting a transplant just to not have to go and see that every day, it would be a
Right.
blessing.
So
Yeah,
that's what that is powerful, to be given a second chance of life.
yeah,
That ultimately, that is a request, But for anyone that is on the fence about becoming an organ donor, what do you say to them?
you know, I know people have their fears and conspiracy theories, and if I put this thing on my ID, somebody might come and harvest my organs, and they might try to kill me just to get my kidney. And I can't speak to that level of whatever you want to call that.
Okay.
But to a rational thinking person who has the notion that I'm here for a purpose and my life matters, they would always sign up to be an organ donor because they realize that when I leave here, this physical body and this suit that I'm wearing, I need to, if I can leave it for somebody else, it's the same way we hand down cars and suits to our kids, or a wedding ring, or some kind of little trinket or heirloom. We have the presence of mind to leave those things behind for our kids. Why not leave behind a heart or an organ or a kidney or this or that? And being a donor, and I think, if anybody hears this and you're not an organ donor, but you have the presence of mind to be investing your dollars for the future, well, it's the same way with your body and your organs. That's an investment into the life of somebody else. And if you understand that concept, how much more? And if you're on here, I'm going to use a scripture. Like I said, I don't quote them verbatim, but I do know this. It says that how much more of a friend you can be if you lay down your life for someone else. So if you're laying down and putting it on paper ahead of time that when my life expires, I'm going to give you life in another area, how much more of a friend could you be to somebody else? And so I would say, everybody on here, all of my kids are organ donors. I'm an organ donor. If I were to die and there was some good organs they could get from me, then hopefully it could be a blessing with somebody else. They may not want mine, but but my point is, if there's something, it might be my eyes still good and somebody else need a ocular transplant. I don't know, but my point about that is, if you can be a blessing to somebody else, definitely do so. And that would be a definitely blessing to me.
Right.
And obviously a lot of other people.
I don't think I could have said that better myself.
Yeah.
And I looked at the time, so I'm going to make sure I take that snippet at 47 minutes, because that was super powerful about leaving the homes and the cars and all of those,
Yeah, we know how to do that.
Things,
but
not saying as if you could take this with you.
Exactly.
It can't go with you, and it's not going to regrow.
Yeah.
We're not going to regrow. If you go into the ground, it's not a flower. That it's going to be like a weed and come back. Exactly. When it's gone, it's gone. Right. So I thank you so much, Rico, for just spending this little bit of time with me and kind of educating our audience on things that need it, that need to be said. Make the investment. Exactly. That's my daddy. Make the investment and save a life. Well said. That I could not have said it even better myself. Thanks, Dad, for that. My dad,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
always right there. So I appreciate you for telling this. And listen, guys, uh, I need
Can I
him
say
to go
one
ahead.
thing to the
Huh?
guys right quick?
Wait, but
Can I
let me
say,
say this.
okay.
I need him to get this kidney here real soon because October is homecoming at FAMU at the end of October. And I need for him to be sitting right next to me again at
Like we have.
homecoming because I know we might have had this conversation doing a game
Yeah.
at FAMU. If it wasn't homecoming, it was one of those other games that we were at, and we had this conversation at a game. So I need him to get this. Y'all have until, let's give him till September, so that October, August. Let this happen next month, so that way he got a few months.
Yes, to heal, get good, everything.
Right. Still gonna wear a mask.
You're right.
We'll be careful. But what did you want to say?
I just want to say to all the guys that's listening out there, go get your health check. I used to do a lot of crazy things. Never really was a drug addict, but I used to drink a lot and a lot of alcohol, unchecked diabetes, unchecked hypertension, created all of what's going on right now. And a lot of that can be dealt with just the knowledge of knowing where your physical health is.
Exactly.
And I encourage every guy out there, everybody that's listening, when your lady is asking you about your health, it's not because she's trying to nag you, it's because she don't want to live life without you.
Say it loud for the people in the back.
Yeah, go get your health check. When your lady is nagging you or putting pressure on you about your health, it's not because she's a nag. It's not because she just like that. She don't want to live without you.
Right.
And so go get yourself checked. You might find something that you don't like. That's okay. You can still thrive. That's what this whole conversation is about. Right. You might find out you're right on the border and edge and you can make some modifications and don't have to be in a bad situation.
Right.
But you won't know until you go get checked out. And for me, when I went and got checked out, it was too late. So go get checked out. Go get yourself together. All the men out there. And like I said earlier, be an organ donor. So.
Right. So as a widow, I'm telling you what he's saying is very true.
Yeah.
It's very true. So I don't know what God has for me, and I'm not even gonna speak it right now, but just know I'm all about taking care of my husband or my man. I'm all about taking care of you. Your life would be very important to me. Don't go in my inbox. I'm good though. All right. Don't do it. Don't do it right now. Let me still chill out for a minute. I'm good. All right. So Rico, you stay right there. Hey, Steve. Hey, my parents. Again, thank you all for watching. Oh, my Marching 100 people. Steve, I miss you, friend. We need to talk. We do need to talk. So Rico, I'm gonna put you backstage and I'm gonna sign out the show. Thank you again. Thank you so much, my brother. All right, guys. So thank you all again. We are ready to end this show. And I just want everybody to know that Transplant Talk with Nashonda Save 1,000 Lives will be doing their annual. Y'all ready? Our annual telethon on August 21st, 2021. And again, I solicit your prayers because now this is my second time doing it. So I want to do it bigger and better. And we are going to again give some funds, give the proceeds to here in Jacksonville, the Gabriel House. So stay tuned for those. I also have a Transplant Talk group on Facebook where there are families, donor families, recipients, and people that are waiting. So if you know anyone, please make sure that you just let us know. Please let us know. I don't know what my daddy said right now, but thank you all. Thank you all so much. Let me see what my daddy said. Make the investment, save a life. Make it the investment and save a life. God bless you all. See you all next week. Well, I'm going to Merritt Island. Yeah, Daddy. We're going to Merritt Island and my special guest, Mr. Jonathan Smith. So I cannot wait until next week for you all to meet Mr. Jonathan. He is a 2-time kidney recipient. So, and all of your get understanding, love each other. God bless you all. Good night. Oh wait, who? Stop talking. Okay, take care of your man. Yeah, I don't have a man right now, Daddy. It's okay.